people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because their minds are sabotaged, full of excuses, fear, and cheap justifications. What if the only real obstacle between you and the prosperous life you dream of was you? This video isn't for those who just want to feel a little better. It's for those who are ready to take absolute control of their mind and completely transform their reality. Today, you're going to discover why mastering your mind is the first step to leaving scarcity behind and entering a life of tangible abundance. Not spiritually or theoretically, but with visible, consistent results. So if you're tired of always feeling stuck, if you sense something is blocking you but you don't know what it is, stay until the end. Hit like, comment, "I'm ready to control my mind," and subscribe right now, because this could mark a before and after in your life. Let's get straight to the point. You know why you haven't prospered yet? Because you're not in control. Your mind functions like a city with no government. Every emotion, every excuse, every fear does whatever it wants. Absolute mental control doesn't mean being cold or emotionless. It means emotional maturity. It means that even when you don't feel like it, you act. Even when you're afraid, you move forward. Even without motivation, you follow through on your promises. Prosperity isn't just about having money. Prosperity is personal expansion. It's inner evolution. And here's the truth: no one can stop that process but you. Not your boss. Not your partner. Not your past. Only you have the power to slow down or accelerate your growth. But if your mind is messy, full of guilt, doubt, and sabotage, you'll never enter the life you know you deserve. And here's the big mistake most people make: they want to change their life without changing their mind. That's like trying to build a skyscraper on a plot full of ruins. First, you clean it. Then, you build. Absolute mental control means taming the wild horse of your thoughts. It means no longer living in reaction mode, and starting to live in decision mode. And let me tell you straight, it's not magic. It's a process. But whoever masters their mind, changes their destiny. Why do so many people read books, attend conferences, take courses, and their life stays the same? Because they get stuck in theory. They're collectors of information, but miserable in action. Theory without practice is like a map in the hands of someone who never moves. And practice without consistency is like planting a seed and pulling it out every 2 days to see if it's grown. True transformation happens when you combine 3 elements: theory, practice, and consistency. It's like fire: you need spark, wood, and oxygen. If one is missing, it won't burn. Knowing is not enough. What transforms your life is not what you know, it's what you do with what you know. And more importantly, it's what you do repeatedly, even when you don't see immediate results. That's where most people give up. They try something for 2 weeks, don't see a change, and go back to their old ways. But the one who understands this trio becomes unstoppable. Imagine an athlete. They don't win medals because they know the theory of training. They win because they train when no one's watching, push through when they're tired, and keep going when others quit. Prosperous life is built the same way. It's not enough to say, "I know I can." You have to live it. And live it every day, until it becomes part of you. Theory opens your eyes. Practice moves you. Consistency transforms you. Have you ever felt uncomfortable seeing someone with a lot of success? Have you thought things like, "They probably did something shady," or "That's not for people like me"? That's not a coincidence. That's your brain activating safety mode. It's an unconscious mechanism triggered when you perceive someone else's prosperity as a threat. Why? Because at some point in your life, you were taught that wealth and corruption go hand in hand. Maybe you heard phrases like, "Money changes people," "Rich people are selfish," "Better to be poor and honest than rich and a thief." And without realizing it, your brain associated success with danger. So what does it do? It protects you, by blocking you. Every time you get close to a real growth opportunity, self-sabotage kicks in, you get distracted, procrastinate, drown in doubt. And the worst part? You start judging those who have already achieved what you dream of. But here's the twist: to unlock that safety mode, you need to bless others' prosperity. Yes, you heard that right. Bless it. Celebrate it. Admire without envy. When you genuinely feel happy for someone else's success, you're telling your brain, this is safe. This is also for me. It's like building a new road inside your mind. One where abundance isn't dangerous, but desirable and attainable. So here's a practical exercise. Next time you see someone succeeding, say out loud or in your mind, good for them. If they can do it, so can I. I bless their path and prepare for mine. Do that for 21 days. And watch how your brain starts clearing the way for your own prosperity. Imagine your life is a house. But not a modern, solid, well-built house. No, it's a shack, made from leftover inherited beliefs, old fears, and borrowed thoughts. Now imagine you want to live in a mansion of prosperity. What do? Do you build on top of the shack? Paint it pretty? Add new lights? No. That doesn't work. First, you have to tear down the old. You have to bring in the mental bulldozer and destroy every brick of limiting thought that's keeping you stuck in misery. Phrases like, I'm not enough. Money isn't for me. I have no luck. The worst always happens to me. Those are rotten bricks. They're part of a structure that wasn't designed by you, but by the emotional scarcity of others. And here comes the hard truth: if you don't destroy that mental shack, no matter how hard you try, you'll always return to the same point. It's like remodeling a prison and expecting it to turn into a palace. The rebuilding of your life begins with internal demolition. Every time you identify a lie you believed about yourself, and replace it with a powerful truth, you're laying a new foundation. And that's not done with empty affirmations. It's done with decision, awareness, and daily action. So do this today: write down 5 beliefs you know are holding you back. And next to each one, write a new declaration that sets you free. Do it like a mental architect. Because you weren't born to live in ruins. You were born to build greatness. Let me tell you something I'll never forget. The first time I got into a helicopter to learn how to pilot, I felt like my heart was going to explode. Not from excitement, from fear. From tension. From the voice in my head saying, what are you doing here? You're not ready. This is too much for you. My hands were sweating, the controls felt impossible to manage, and every movement of the helicopter reminded me how fragile everything was. But do you know what happened? I didn't get out. I didn't quit. I stayed. I took a deep breath, listened to the instructor, let go of the controls, and then took them back with more focus. Over time, my body adapted. My mind, which had been screaming to run, started to understand the game. And what was once chaos became control. Why am I telling you this? Because that's how real growth works. When you face something new, your mind will resist. It'll tell you you can't, that you're not capable, that it's for someone else. But if you stay, if you don't give in to panic, if you practice patiently, even when your soul trembles, you make it to the other side. Learning to fly taught me something that applies to everything. You don't need to be ready to start. You need to start to become unstoppable. So take this example and apply it today. Is there something that scares you? Something new that you know will take you to the next level, but you freeze just thinking about it? Do it. Even if you're not ready. Do it shaking, but do it. Mental control is also trained by confronting what wants to stop you. Many want to change their lives without touching their emotions. But let me be clear, if you don't heal inside, you'll never prosper on the outside. There are emotional wounds hiding behind self-sabotage, procrastination, and insecurity. And many of those wounds have a face. The mother figure, the father figure, a betrayal from the past, unresolved abandonment. It's not about blaming anyone. It's about releasing what's keeping you tied. And one of the most powerful paths is emotional reframing. What is that? It's looking at a painful experience from the past and giving it new meaning. It's stopping the question, why did this happen to me, and starting to ask, what did this teach me? When you do that, something changes inside. The emotion transforms. Pain turns into fuel. And here enters a powerful tool, forgiveness. Especially forgiveness toward figures like your mother, who often represents our first beliefs about love, care, and safety. Forgiving doesn't mean it was okay. It means letting go of what's trapping you. And there's a physical resource that speeds up that process: touch. A hug. When you hug with intention, you generate oxytocin, the bonding hormone. That simple gesture can break down internal walls you've been building for years. Do it. Conscious hugs. Words of forgiveness, even if no one answers. Free yourself from the emotional prison blocking your expansion. You can't build prosperity on the land of guilt and wounds. Have you ever wondered why so many college graduates end up frustrated and broke? The problem isn't the knowledge, it's who teaches it. These days, many university professors and business consultants talk about success, business, and leadership, without having lived a single day of real risk, pressure, or results. It's like a sea theorist trying to teach you how to swim without ever getting wet. They can explain movement theory, the physics of water, even the history of swimming. But in practice, the day you fall in, you either swim or drown. And that's what happens to millions. They're full of theories but lack real tools. Because they learned from people who were never tested by life. Want to truly learn to prosper? Look for someone who's been shaken, fallen, stood back up, and kept walking. Look for someone transformed by experience, not just by books. Degrees don't guarantee wisdom. What transforms you isn't the diploma on the wall, it's the lived, suffered, and conquered knowledge. Don't get me wrong, studying is valuable. But without reality, it's useless. Knowledge that hasn't been tested becomes empty arrogance. And teaching without lived experience only creates repeaters, not transformers. If you want real change, make sure you're learning from someone who's walked through fire, and came out with authority. On this journey of growth, there's one figure who can accelerate your transformation like no other, the results-driven mentor. I'm not talking about a motivational coach on Instagram. I'm not talking about someone who read 20 books and gives empty speeches. I'm talking about someone who's lived what you want to live. Someone who's fallen, gotten back up, executed, failed, and won. Someone who has scars, not just medals. A true mentor doesn't give pretty speeches. They confront you. They push you out of your comfort zone. They show you what you don't want to see and guide you through what you don't want to face, until you make it. They don't focus on teaching you theories. They focus on giving you results. Because they know what changes a life isn't information, it's transformation. A results-driven mentor is like a jungle guide. They know the way, where the dangers are, and take you straight to the top, without wasting years wandering. But listen, to make the most of that guide, you need humility. A mentor is useless if you're not willing to listen, obey, and execute. Ask yourself right now. Am I being guided by someone with real results? Or am I learning from people who only repeat theories they don't live? Surround yourself with people who have what you dream of. Learn from those who live what they preach. And get ready for an acceleration that will break every limit that holds you back today. With your mind aligned, the right guidance, and consistent action, no ceiling can hold you. You've already taken the first step. You've decided not to be a prisoner of your own mind anymore. Now you know that absolute mental control isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. And more than that, it's the foundation of a prosperous, expanded, meaningful life. We saw that theory without practice is useless. That your brain can sabotage you if you don't reprogram it. That limiting beliefs must be demolished like a shack before you build your empire. That fear is only overcome by facing it. And that healing emotions isn't optional, it's part of the journey. That not everyone who teaches transforms. And that a mentor with results is worth more than 100 teachers without proof. Do just one thing today that pulls you out of mental scarcity and pushes you into expansion. Maybe it's writing down your beliefs. Maybe it's asking for forgiveness. Maybe it's finding a mentor. But do something. And if this video touched you, shook you, or opened your eyes, don't keep it to yourself. Like it. Share it with someone who needs to wake up. And comment below. Today I take control of my mind. Because life doesn't wait. And neither does prosperity. It's for the bold. For the doers. For the ones who won't settle. Your destiny is already written. But only those with the courage to rewrite their mind will reach it. Let's go together. All the way to the top.